Hey, good morning from the office. I'm your host, BKP. We are North Georgia's only live online morning show. It is November 27th. Black Friday is over. Is today what we call Cyber Monday? Today is Cyber Monday. You need to know, there was a time when I asked Rose to pay attention. Okay, there you are. Now, Rose brings in a TV, like this 90-inch TV today for a screen, says she can't see. So she brings it.
Okay, wait, 90 inches might be a little bit of an exaggeration.
Okay, let me do the exaggerating here. Okay, let me stay with the exaggerating. So she brings in this 56-inch TV that she jacked from some kid Friday night at the Black Friday sale. I mean, so she probably got this for $29 that she jacked from some little kid. Some poor little kid was going to watch her cartoons, but Rose said, "No, I can't see in the morning." So, anyhow, if you thought it, I can't see. You know who she is. What was the guy on Tool Time? What was that show?
His name was Wilson.
Yeah, that's Wilson right there. Wilson is Rose. I just could see, like, she'll go like this from time to time. It's okay. Anyhow, good morning, everybody. Glad to have you here. The holidays are well underway. I hope everybody had a safe and a happy Thanksgiving. You had plenty of turkey. You got to watch the parade. You got to watch the dog show. I love the dog show every year. Just let's get ready for December and Old St. Nick. This is how you can get in touch with the show, 706-889-9700, 706-889-9700. You can also, email us at chief@fetchernews.com, chief@fetchernews.com, and follow us on Twitter @FetcherNews. And follow us also at FYNTV. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel. That would be FYNTV Fetcher News on YouTube. When you subscribe, it will let you know when we're airing something live. It'll also let you know when we post a new video. So there's a couple things we're going to go over. Now, this is not a joke. This is really not a joke. Okay. I hope you were able to make it through the holidays without any groping, okay? Seriously, have we gone overboard, okay? I read an article, now I forget who it is, a mascot that's being sued for groping a fan. I'm serious, Google it. It's a mascot. I forget, I had it on one of my emails here, but it was early on last week, like Thursday or something. I read a mascot is being sued. A mascot for a sports team is being sued for groping a fan. Wow. And you know what? Who would have thought due process would be an option? Put that up. I sent you I want to keep due process around, Sam. I want to keep who thought due process would even be an option? I mean, you have to believe the women immediately. There's no excuse for not believing these women immediately. So Nancy Pelosi goes on MSNBC or NBC with Chuck Todd, and concerning John Conyers, it's now time to implement due process. Due process is the greatest thing. Watch also, folks, I want to just lead you down this road. Watch Ethics Committee, okay? Watch all these Ethics Committee hearings and what will happen in the Ethics Committee, all right? Due process. Let me tell you something. The due process is they will not stop until they write the rules and regulations all the way to your business, your private business. They want your private business. So now all of a sudden, due process is an option. That's an option. So before we get really started today, obviously, hey, over in Alabama, the Auburn-Alabama seasonal game. Whoo! Wow. Did you notice there were not that many Roll Tide on social media? You didn't hear Roll Tide. You know what I love is Alabama fan sympathizers. You know, well, even when our team doesn't win, we love them. We love our Tide. We love our Alabama. So I was okay, all right. It was really enjoyable to watch all the social media posts, the Alabama fans commiserating and how much they love their team, and look at how long it took for somebody to beat them, and so on and so forth. But we're going to talk college football at 8:30 with Jason Banks. Jason Banks is the head of TeamFYNSports. He's going to come on. We're going to talk a little college football, and want you to stick around for that. I want to talk. I'm going to open the show, and Sam, let me know when you have those pictures ready. Okay. All right. In August, pretty sure. Let me see what I have posted here. I think in August of 2014. Now today is the Nydia, the state of Georgia versus Nydia Tisdale. And why is this a big story, and why is there interest here, and what is taking place? Now, the state of Georgia versus Nydia Tisdale. There's two charges against Nydia Tisdale. She was arrested at Burt's pumpkin farm over in Dawson County, Georgia, and she was arrested. And I think one of the charges is a felony charge, obstructing an officer, and then the other one is a private property violation. Okay, it's a misdemeanor private property violation, I think, and a felony charge of obstructing an officer, which would be Tony Wooten. So on August 23rd, 2014, there was a political rally at Burt's Pumpkin Farm. And today starts the trial. It's 11/27/2017 for these two charges. Now, there's some things here I'm going to say sources tell me. I'm not involved in it. But I want you to understand that if I was able to, and I'll tell you what happened in a minute, if I was able to reach out in front of me, if I could reach out in front of me, I would have been touching the back of Miss Tisdale's head. So I was directly behind Miss Tisdale when everything took place. I went to the event. I went to the event. I was there when Miss Tisdale was there. The interesting thing about this, and what makes this a pretty big story, is this was a campaign rally. And at this campaign rally, there was Mark Butler, the Department of Labor, Secretary of Labor, Department of Labor, Georgia. This is all Georgia. Mark Butler was there. Richard Woods, then running for Superintendent of Schools. Ralph Hudgens, the Insurance Commissioner. Gary Black, Agriculture Commissioner. On up Sam Owens, the Attorney General at that time. On up to the then candidate for Senate, David Perdue, and Congressman Doug Collins. And I know Brian Kemp was not there that day. He was not there that day. And I don't recall Casey Cagle being there. Maybe he was. I don't recall that. But it goes all the way up to the governor of the state of Georgia. Governor Nathan Deal and his wife, Sandra, I think that's her name, were sitting on the front row. Here's a couple things. I don't want to go too far because the trial starts today, and I have been called by the state. I mean, I don't know what they intend for me to do, but we wrote the story, and that is the picture there. The picture you see there is one of the pictures of Deputy, and that's Fetcher News' pictures. All of the pictures you have been looking at over the internet for the past several years belong to us, FetcherNews.com, and we took these pictures. This is Deputy, then then Deputy Tony Wooten, Dawson County Sheriff's Office, then Deputy Tony Wooten. He's no longer there. He is removing Miss Tisdale from the Burt's Pumpkin Farm. Show me the other picture. This is the one that is probably, people have seen several times. This is him also removing Miss Tisdale from Burt's Pumpkin Farm. Okay. I took the pictures. I did some interviews with Miss Tisdale. I did interviews with Sheriff Carlisle immediately. And I wrote the story. I sat there and I wrote the story. I wrote the first story out of there that went viral. The thing will be, here's the thing, and the reason I want to bring this up, I can't go into too much detail because I'm going to be called. I don't know when. I don't know when they're going to call me, but I am going to comment on it daily. So every day I'm going to comment on this trial, specifically when I go over and I sit there. We do have a reporter that will be there. Bill Johnson will be there this week. And private property rights, that's going to come into question this week. Facebook, how many events have you started on Facebook? Do you realize I can go and set up an event on Facebook and you don't even know about it, and I may be saying, I may say we're going to have it in your front yard. I can set up an event. Setting up events on Facebook and then inviting people, your friends, going into your friends list, does that make it an open public if you tag it as public? If you go to Facebook and tag your event and you don't make it private and you make it public, what does that change? Did you just give your private property rights away? Now, there was an event created. Now, my understanding, sources tell me there was a notice put in the newspaper, okay, in that area, saying that they were having this political rally at Burt's Pumpkin Farm. All right? It's my understanding. Second, okay, as this unfolds, as I give my testimony or whatever they ask me, I'm going to come back and give it to you and let you be the judge this week, okay? Understanding that there's a clip that was put in a newspaper saying this event was open, all right? Understand there was a post on Facebook, not by the Burts, not by Johnny and Kathy Burt, the owners of Burt's Pumpkin Farm. They did not create the event on Facebook themselves. They did not post this, my understanding, they did not publish this in a newspaper, but they did host their property, they hosted this political event. Now, that being said, Miss Tisdale was videoing the event on private property. Now, I think it's the city of Cummins. Miss Tisdale has become kind of famous for winning a pretty large settlement against the city of Cumming. I think it's the city of Cumming, right? I don't know. I'm just doing it all off the top of my head. But she's become pretty famous for winning a pretty big settlement. She went into the city of Cumming, I think it was, and she turned on her video camera, and the mayor, then mayor, did not get reelected this last time, but the then mayor told her to turn off her video camera, okay? It told her that she could not video the city council meeting and went as far to have her removed. Now let's look at the facts. A, the city hall in the city of Cumming, if that's where it was, if I remember right, it belongs to the taxpayers. It's open to the public. It's not private property. The city meeting is covered under this, covered under the Georgia Sunshine Laws. Open meetings, okay? This is something, Georgia open meeting laws, right here on page 7, okay? All right. You have access. The open and public meeting law, all right? You have access. So the city council meeting was open to the public. It belongs to the public. They are servants of the public. All right? You could come in, you could turn your cell phone on, and you could do this at the city council meeting, and you could video the entire thing. You can go into the city council meeting and you can turn your audio recorder on. You can take pictures. I have had people say this to me. They have said at a city council meeting, they come up, citizens, and they talk in the meeting, okay? And then we take a picture because they're talking about the road or whatever they're not happy with, or the water bill. And they will actually say to us, don't use that picture, or I don't want that picture. Well, you know, we regret to tell you that if you're in a city meeting or a county meeting, Board of Education, and it's a legal public meeting announced to the public through the legal organ that it's going to be a meeting, and you stand up, you have become part of the public meeting. But moving right along from that, Miss Tisdale made a pretty good, became overnight famous for the city of Cumming violating the Open Meetings Act. Now, this is not the first time Miss Tisdale's been removed from somewhere. She was removed from a restaurant for recording, a private restaurant. We won't go into that this morning. Just prior to Burt's Pumpkin Farm, a month, 2 months, I don't know, but she was removed from a restaurant where they did not want her recording their local ladies' Republican Party meeting, and she was removed. So it's not the city of Cummings. Burt's Pumpkin Farm's owned. It's private property. Okay? Burt's Pumpkin Farm is not belong to the citizens. Okay, they pay their taxes. Miss Tisdale had her video recorder going. We're not going to go too deep today, but Miss Tisdale had her video recorder going. Okay? And she was focused in on he's not running for re-election. I think he's still, Ralph Hudgens, the insurance commissioner. She was focused in, and she had her video camera running. She's not at City Hall. It's on private property. Now, I will go into detail later, but the Burts, which they will probably testify, okay, the Burts may testify, I don't know what they're going to say, that they asked Miss Tisdale to have her camera turned off and not record. The Burts may testify today that they gave instruction to then Deputy Tony Wooten that if she did not turn her camera off, she had to leave. They may testify to that. They may testify that they told Wooten and Clint Bearden, okay, the person, they may testify that they told Tony Wooten, Deputy Wooten, to remove her. That is testimony that we're going to have to wait on. Because although Miss Tisdale has a cult following, now she does. You can go on the internet. She has run one heck of a campaign on this, all right? But no matter what, everybody's going to have to pay attention to the Facebook events, private property, open to the public. If you have a party at your property and you open it to the public, the whole entire community, at what time can you decide that party's over? At what time can you decide that person needs to leave your party? Could they say, hey, it was open to the public? So we're going to see. This is going to be big because it answers a whole lot of questions. Private property comes into play. Now, why is this a media interest? Okay? Why? It's going to be a media interest because it involves Governor Nathan Deal. Now, I don't know if Governor Nathan Deal has been subpoenaed to court today, because I don't know if Sandra Deal has been subpoenaed to court because they were sitting on the front row and watched her be removed. Okay? I don't know if Ralph Hudgens is going to be the insurance commissioner going to be subpoenaed, and he's going to testify in the state of Georgia. Ralph Hudgens. Ralph Hudgens is the one that looked at the video camera and said something, not quote, why are we recording this, or something like that. And then Ralph Hudgens went around to the side and spoke to Clint Bearden or whatever, and maybe complained that they were recording that today. Okay? Maybe he will be there. Maybe former Attorney General Sam Owens will be there. You see, Sam Owens had just won the case for Tisdale that week. The ruling came out that week that Tisdale had won against the city of Cummings, that they had violated her freedom of her First Amendment. They had violated. See, that just came out that week. Maybe Sam Owens will testify. Governor Sam Owens? I don't know. Maybe they're going to call Gary Black. Maybe they're going to call, Senator David Perdue. I don't know. No idea. But it will have a lot of media coverage. Now, Ms. Tisdale, sources say, Ms. Tisdale says, I won't drop my civil rights lawsuit in exchange for my charges to be dropped in this matter. You see, don't forget, Ms. Tisdale already has her civil rights lawsuit in place, okay? And I've not been told this, but, supposedly the offer to drop the charges for dropping the civil rights lawsuit, and she won't drop her civil rights lawsuit. So we're going to find out this week. It lasts all week, and I'm going to report on it. Private property, or did Ms. Tisdale have the right to video? Should Ms. Tisdale left when she was asked to leave? If you're a homeowner, do you have the right to ask someone, security detail at your property, to ask somebody to leave? Are you supposed to do that? Can you do that? We'll find out. You don't want to miss this case all week. I'll bring it to you this week, and we'll have it day by day. So, what do you think? What's going to supersede? Private property? Was it an open meeting? Did she have the right to video no matter what the Burt said? If the Burts told Deputy Wooten, tell her to turn the camera off? See, she didn't turn the camera off. Now, I'm going to tell you this week my version of events, but we'll see what happens in the court. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. I will tell you now, this case will go national. This will go national. There will be between the freedom of the press, okay, the freedom of the press, to the private property. This will be a big one to decide. Now, put up this picture. I want to, before we go to break, at 9 o'clock, I want to give you some things we're going to work on for that hour at 9 o'clock. Well, let's not wait. I mean, I like my, look, for those of you that don't know this, I come in here in the morning, I turn on Morning Joe. I just want to see. It took 30 minutes this morning to say Conyers, okay? It took John Conyers, that has already been proven. It's already been proven that there's been payments to settle sexual harassment cases. You see, I don't see any payment settlements for sexual harassment cases for Roy Moore. Now, get into that. We don't have this guy. We already have settled cases, okay? But I started last week because I watched Morning Joe to see what direction they're trying to take our country in on a daily basis. So Minka likes to, it's like she hears a dog whistle. So I explain every day, I'm not calling her a dog, but I call this Minka's dog whistle picture of the day. Put up Minka. You see that? Now, how's that? It's my Minka. I tell you, folks, that's just, if you were watching this morning, look at that. And Joe's sticking his tongue out, too. Like, you know, they're like Mutt and Jeff. Look at that. Oh. All right, so Conyers is going to fight the sexual harassment allegations. Put up Representative Conyers. Put up Conyers there. Representative Conyers on sexual harassment allegations. I deny these allegations. Okay? I deny these allegations. Many of which were raised by documents reportedly paid for by partisan alt-right bloggers. Wait a minute. I deny these allegations, many of which were raised by documents reportedly paid for by partisan alt-right bloggers. Fusion GPS, the DNC. I got you, John. I'm figuring this out. I understand where you're coming from. It's almost like Fusion GPS, which was paid by the Hillary Clinton campaign, the alt-left, and the DNC to Michael Steele, a foreign agent, to write the Trump dossier. I get it now. I see where you're coming from. I deny these allegations, many of which were raised by documents reportedly paid for by a partisan alt-right blogger. I very much look forward to vindicating myself and my family before the House on Ethics, the House Committee on Ethics. Watch this Ethics Committee, folks. Watch it. Watch it close. Watch what it turns into. All right? Now, Conyers says that. And, do I have a picture of Pelosi or I don't have one? All right? It's okay if I don't. Okay, Congress says that. I mean, Conyers says that. And Pelosi says, hey, we have to have due process. I mean, we got to have due process. Wait a minute. Why do we... No, I don't want Nancy and Chuck. God knows I don't want to look at Nancy and Chuck. I appreciate that. I appreciate the gesture. Oh. Anyhow. So, folks, nothing about Pelosi and Conyers until 9 o'clock. Okay? Nothing on MSNBC to start today saying Pelosi is backing Conyers. Everything is about Trump backing Roy Moore. But nothing about Pelosi backing Conyers. Nothing. Nothing about it. But what does Pelosi say? She tells Chuck Todd, hey, Chuck Todd says, is Conyers in or out? I got to give it to him. Is Conyers in or out? Okay? He's the oldest serving member in Congress. Due process. And then Pelosi said, just because somebody is accused, just because they're accused. Now listen to what Pelosi said. Due process, just because somebody's accused, and John Conyers is an icon. That's why MSNBC came out this morning. And Minka, Joe didn't say it, they set it up. Minka said, every case needs to be handled different. Now it's every case needs to be handled different. Interesting. I'm your host, BKP. We're going to come back to some of these things at 9 o'clock. I'm going to tell you why Michael Flynn, the big news in the Russia investigation, as the left-wing media wants you to believe, is Flynn has cut a deal. And that's why they cut ties with the Trump lawyers. This is very much in line of how things work. They no longer can disclose information that they're talking to the special prosecutor about once they enter into any kind of agreements. You got to understand, Turkey and Russia are two different countries, but we're going to talk about that. And I'm going to tell you my opinion on what's going on with Michael Flynn. All right, when we come back. I'm going to take a break now. I'm running a little long. When we come back, let's talk a minute of college football, okay? Let's hear what you have to say. 706-889-9700. Jason Banks the director of Team FYN Sports, will be with us right after these commercial breaks.
Ace is your helpful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Better days ahead.
You know what time it is? Model year-end closeout time at Days Chevy in Jasper, with huge savings on every 2017 Chevy in stock, like over $6,500 off on Malibu, just $17,900, or save a payload on Silverado Double and Crew Cabs, starting from just $31,800. The discounts are big, and the time is now during the model year-end closeout. Hurry to Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Be sure to check out New Blue Home and Gift, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Find us on Twitter at New Blue Home. Everything beautiful for your home or a special gift can be found at New Blue Home and Gift. Call us today at 706-455-3873 or visit us at 531 East Main Street, Suite 103 in downtown Blue Ridge.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart.
Kinty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Fine sterling silver, luxurious baby alpaca and exotic woods. A beautiful selection of exquisitely crafted gifts for all of your special occasions. Visit our website, artesiansilvergifts.com, or follow us on Twitter at Artesian Silver Gifts. Kinty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop in downtown Blue Ridge.
Hey folks, along with your Thanksgiving holiday, you have been watching football, posting about football, and it's far from over. We've got a lot of things to discuss about college. Wow, what a shakeup in the ranks, the ranking this weekend and some of the games. I have with me now Director of TeamFYNSports, Jason Banks. Jason, how are you this morning?
I'm great. Boomer Sooner. Good morning.
You're what?
Good morning.
Did you get a Sooner in there?
I had to throw a Boomer Sooner out there, man.
All right. Well, let's start out first, folks. Our Team FYN Sports, we cover all of the high school football, and unfortunately, most of the teams are out, but we still have the Murphy Bulldogs. We're excited to talk about them this morning over there in Murphy, North Carolina, and they're moving right along, are they not, Jason?
They are. They're playing for a region championship this Friday night. They just won another big game. They beat East Surrey on Friday on the road, or excuse me, at home. We had Tiffany Santos on the sidelines tweeting out during that game. And I got an opportunity to spend a lot of time talking with her last night about that game, and Murphy just refusing to give up, refusing to quit. So it's going to be interesting to see if they can't go the distance like they did last year.
Who do they play this Friday night? Do you know?
They're playing Mount Airy, who is the top-ranked team in the state. It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah, Mount Airy is heading up there to Virginia. I'm pretty sure it's heading up there to Virginia. It's outside of takeoff past Winston-Salem, and you go up past Tobaccoville. Yeah, exactly. Trust me, man. And so that's way up there. Where are they playing? Do you know where they're playing Friday night, or is that?
They are at Mount Airy. Mount Airy has home advantage for this game. So.
And is this for the state championship Friday night?
No, this is for the region championship.
Region.
This will put them in the Final Four.
All right, well, I know we don't cover or maybe keep up with a lot with Mount Airy, but the Murphy Bulldogs, where do they stack up? I know they will not stop. What was the score last Friday night? I'm putting you on the spot. Do you know the score?
I've got it here.
Who did they play? Who did they play at home Friday night? Was it?
They played East Surrey. They were up 28-14 at the half, really 28-7, and then they got a late touchdown in there. Pulling the final score up for you now, but it was a 20-point game. I want to say 49-27. So big win. They came alive in the second half, but the big story of this game was penalties. East Surrey came out wanting to, they were fired up and they really wanted to get in the heads of the Murphy Bulldogs, and it really backfired on them. The officials played the game a real tight game. There was actually 6 ejections in this game, all East Surrey players. You can imagine that hurt them. 4 of those were in the first half. So
once you lose control, once you lose control of the team, you can't control the play of the game.
No, you're absolutely right. And then you got the defense coming alive with some interceptions, and that's part of the reason in the first half that they were losing control. There are these dead ball personal fouls after an interception where the team's getting frustrated at their own mistakes, taking it out on the Bulldogs, and then the officials say, hey, we're going to put 15 yards on that interception, and now the Bulldogs are in scoring position.
Well, I tell you what, so they're going up to Mount Airy before we close off this segment of high school football with the Murphy Bulldogs over there in Murphy, North Carolina. I've watched them play a couple times this year, and I think you framed it up best. They refused to lose. I do remember they did lose to I forget earlier in the year.
Swain County.
Swain. Yes. And that actually led us to believe that they were going to lose to Cherokee, but they came right back, and Cherokee's a tough team, and they won out their division. Mount Airy, we know anything about them? I mean, they are number 1 in their region in the state, division in the state. Do we know anything about them? I hate to put it like this. Does Murphy stand a chance? I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well, I think Murphy stands a chance. I think Mount Airy probably knows about as much about Murphy as we do about them. So they've probably seen a little bit of film, but they're so far away from each other, it's kind of hard to gauge. They're definitely not playing the same opponents or anything like that. So I think it's anyone's ball game. Mount Airy's undefeated, but if you look at Murphy, their one loss, they really beat themselves in that game. I mean, if they didn't have that fumble that went recovery that went the wrong direction, they were in perfect position to score and win. So, in a sense, the Bulldogs are playing like an undefeated team as well, and they should be.
Well, Jason, we wish them well up at Mount Airy. I guess on the map, I tell you what, if you check it out on the map, I guarantee that's got to be about a 6.5 hour ride. You know, what do we call those games? 2 Golden Corral stops.
Yeah, 2 Golden Corrals and a Denny's.
Yeah, so that's got to be a 6.5. I mean, they got to be going up on Thursday to play these guys Friday night, but we'll see. Well, we wish them well. We will keep up with the Murphy Bulldogs. Wish them well against Mount Airy, and if they win that, then it's to the next level. So,
right.
Jason, anything else on that before we go into college and you get all excited about the number 2? Can we got anything else on high school football you want to throw in?
No. Let's roll right into the good stuff. I mean, that's good too, but let's this college stuff's got me.
All right. Well, listen. Let me just say this, because you know I enjoy doing things like this. I asked you 2 weeks ago. I asked you 2 weeks ago if the top 4 were set.
You did. You got me again. Yeah, it felt too good. All right, I'll give you that. I was a little. I had to make a choice once again. I really didn't see Alabama losing. Of course, their strength of schedule not that great, but just the history of the program, best coach in the country. I just really didn't see them losing. But hey, Auburn, man, 5 in a row, just beat the Bulldogs a couple weeks ago, and then turn around and knock off the number 1 team in the country.
Well, before we get into that, let me ask you. We're looking at the coaches AP voting here. Clemson number 1, Oklahoma number 2, Wisconsin 3, Auburn 4, Alabama 5, and Georgia 6. Alabama's sitting in the worst position between you and I, because Alabama wishes they had that shot to play Georgia, or shot, that last shot. Georgia actually gets that last move in this chess match, do they not?
They do, and they're in the best position they could ever possibly be in right now, because if you win, you're in.
Yeah, because
SEC
Auburn,
championship.
Right, SEC championship. Auburn's going to be playing Georgia, and Georgia wants a rematch, and maybe Georgia's actual defense will show up for this game. I'm sorry, guys. Sorry, Georgia fans, but you know what I mean. The last time they played Auburn, Georgia came out and had a 73-yard strike down the field, and it was over. After that, a field goal, and the day was over. What's your opinion? And then I want you to take off on some of these other teams. Just have at it. What's your opinion? Why a 12-0 Wisconsin is sitting at 3? Why do you think they're sitting at 3 and they're 12-0?
Because they've only beat 1 ranked team this year. They haven't played a single team that's ranked currently. They did beat Michigan this year, unranked. They beat 20th Northwestern by a touchdown. So you look at their schedule. Do you really want to give them the number 1 spot when they haven't beat anybody? And they can't. So it'd be about the same thing as giving it to Memphis. Although Memphis isn't undefeated, they did lose to Central Florida earlier this year. But yeah, that's why it's their strength of schedule, with wins over Florida Atlantic and Nebraska, who was horrible this season, Maryland, Indiana. You can't. So they're right where they should be, and they're in the driver's seat. They got a good chance to beat Ohio State, especially with J.T. Barrett's knee injury that he just had this weekend. If Barrett's out, that changes the whole dynamic of that game and actually gives Wisconsin a really good shot at finishing the drill, getting in. Well, that's my opinion.
Well, you got the 2 biggest drops this week. Alabama dropped 4 spots to 5, and Miami dropped 5 spots to 7. So they pulled themselves right out of that top 4 this past weekend.
Yeah, when Miami loses to 4 and 7 Pittsburgh, it hurts pretty bad, and it's a shame, because everyone was really kind of riding high on the whole Miami's back mentality, and they still actually somewhat have a chance to get in. If they beat Clemson, if Miami beats Clemson in the ACC championship game, they might get in. Again, the problem is who they lost to. And you got a one-loss Alabama sitting on the outside. I think that there's a better chance of Alabama making the top 4 rather than Miami jumping them at this point. And then there's other ways Alabama could still get in. They did lose this week to a very good Auburn team, but let's just suppose for a minute that Auburn wins and then Ohio State somehow beats Wisconsin and Oklahoma loses to TCU. Now Alabama's got another shot to get back in the playoff. But it's not going to happen.
There's no better way to go than all the scenarios and then finish with it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen. Nope.
Well, give me your reasoning here, okay? I mean, I know a lot of times it boils down to who played who, what's in the schedule. But you are looking at an SEC with three teams, Auburn, Alabama, and Georgia, right there together, 4, 5, and 6.
Yes.
And you're looking at 4, 5, and 6. What's the justification that you would think you have an Alabama 11-1 and you have a Georgia 11-1, and I understand Auburn beat both of them. That could be the one justification. But then you have Auburn 10-2. How do you think that they are figuring right now where they have them stacked up 4, 5, and 6?
Where they're at this time of year, probably. I mean, timing has to have something to do with it. But, I mean, they're all good. I mean, Auburn's loss to LSU was a 3-point loss when LSU was really strong earlier in the season. So I think that voters, especially in AP, are overlooking that. It'll be interesting to see what the actual college playoff poll is tomorrow, too, because those rankings could be different. The biggest shock to me is that Clemson is still number 1.
Why are you shocked by that?
Well, they lost to Syracuse. So, I mean, that's as bad as Miami losing to Pitt.
Was that early on in the year? Or?
Yeah, again, timing. And Syracuse, without their starting quarterback, obviously plays a factor in voters' minds. They say, hey, well, if he wasn't out, naturally they probably would have won that game.
There's a lot of argument on who should be sitting on number 1, Clemson or Oklahoma. What do you think?
I'm biased, man. I can't really say. I feel like
yeah, exactly.
I'm biased. I feel like Iowa State, the games they've lost, they lost by like 1.
Right.
I mean, they're a lot better team than what people thought they were going to be, and I don't know. We'll see after this week if Oklahoma handles TCU the way they did West Virginia on Saturday, or the way they handled them the last time they played them. I think there's no question after this they would be number 1. Well, and again, if Georgia wins the SEC championship, they got a strong case for a number 1 spot themselves. So.
Well, folks, Auburn was over Alabama 26-14. 26-14. Wisconsin over the top teams 31-7 over Minnesota, and trying to find Clemson. I know Georgia. You enjoyed a 38 win over 38-7 over Georgia Tech. I like that game for a reason because you have the Tech fans, and the Georgia fans deciding who has ownership of what they call the state, who runs the state. So Georgia Tech went down. Ohio State 31 over Michigan 20. And I can't find Clemson here for some reason. I'm rolling by it or something like that. We got any match?
They beat South Carolina this week.
That's right.
And it wasn't even close.
And so Oklahoma 59-31 over West Virginia. Now, Jason, what is upcoming matchups in this week 14? Do you have any upcoming matchups that you're looking at that you're interested in this upcoming week, or?
Yeah, basically all those championship games that we were just talking about. We got the ACC championship with Miami and Clemson. You got Georgia, Alabama. You got Oklahoma, TCU. You got Wisconsin, Ohio State. I mean,
all right. So let's go on the record here. Obviously, Oklahoma TCU next Saturday, 12:30 game time. You're staying with Oklahoma and no TCU upset surprise.
Yeah, absolutely not. Oklahoma made some changes defensively in their secondary. They got Jordan Thomas out of there. Thankfully, he's the worst defensive back in college football right now. And TCU played on that pretty well when they played the first time. So because of that change, absolutely, Oklahoma.
That may be one of the games to watch. One of the biggest games in the nation this week that'll be watched will be Georgia Auburn. Huge. What are you going with?
I'm going with Georgia.
You going with Georgia?
Yeah.
So you don't think Auburn could get lucky twice? Because you got to realize, folks, that means Auburn's got to get past Georgia, past Alabama, and then past Georgia again. You don't think they have three in them?
No. I think Kerryon Johnson's injury is going to play a factor, and I think that Georgia's going to learn a lot from their mistakes from the last time they played them. Okay. Miami, Clemson? I would love to see Miami pull that one off. Okay, so you're going with Miami. Yes. Ohio State, Wisconsin. I think Ohio State's a better football team than Wisconsin, even without J.T. Barrett, so I'm going to go with Ohio State. Okay, well, I'm going to go with this. I'm going with TCU. I'm going with Georgia. I'm going with TCU just to aggravate you. I'm going with TCU. I'm going with TCU. I'm going with Georgia. I agree. I think Georgia's ready for this. Be ready for this game. I'm gonna stay with Clemson. I want to stay with Clemson, not Miami. I want to stay with Clemson, and I'm going to take Ohio State. So I got Ohio State, Clemson, Georgia, and TCU. Okay. Awesome. Very good. Try to remember those. Anything to wrap up, buddy? No, that's it. Get out and watch some high school sports this week. We got some home basketball games at all of our counties on Tuesday. In fact, Pickens is hosting Lafayette on Tuesday. Gilmer's hosting Ridgeland. Shannon's got a home game on Tuesday. I don't remember who's coming to town, but and then Thursday we got some wrestling here in Fannin County. First home wrestling matches. So get out and support your local athletes and follow us on Facebook, TeamFYNSports Facebook, please. And follow on Twitter at TeamFYNSports. Jason Banks. Follow again the Facebook page, TeamFYNSports. All of your local North Georgia sports, and they're working on it every day. Working on a sports show that's going to debut here real soon. And Jason is on every Monday morning at 8:30. He comes on, and then also we do a brief weekend segment on Friday on our Friday show when we're in Blue Ridge. Jason, you have a nice day, buddy. All right, I appreciate it. All right. Thank you. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. What do you think? What's your 4 picks? That's the ones I want. I know Rose doesn't. She's still wondering what we're talking about. It is football, Rose. We're talking about football. So I want you to remember that Ohio State. I'll pull these out later because I need to know what people's picks are this week on these games. So that way we can see how they match up to my picks and Jason's picks. I have TCU, Georgia, Clemson, and Ohio State. I'm your host, BKP. When we come back, I want to tell you exactly what I think where the Michael Flynn and his son's concerned, okay? Right when we return after these messages. I'm your host, BKP. Take us a break.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LOJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment, All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Papa's Pizza to Go in downtown Blue Ridge is the best in the area all-you-can-eat buffet. Call ahead or order online now at papaspizzatogo.com. Use our convenient pickup window for the best in pizza, subs, wings, breadsticks, salads, and more. And be sure to check out our lively game room. We serve lunch and dinner, catering available, take out or dine in. Papa's Pizza to Go in Blue Ridge, proud sponsors of the Fannin County Rebels.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Broken Bowl, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing, is locally owned and operated. Our Simply Noel selection is the largest around. We have a great selection of unique clothing and several lines to choose from for men and women. We carry a beautiful variety of handmade jewelry from Blessed Be and others. All kinds of gifts, starting to carry shoes this fall as well. Come visit us on your next trip to Blue Ridge. We can't wait to meet you at Broken Bowl, located in downtown Blue Ridge.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia, LJ, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
Hey folks, I'm your host BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. You can reach the show. I was trying to see because I'm trying to. What direction do we want to go? Okay. You can reach the show 706-889-9700, 706-889-9700, or chief@fetchyournews.com. That's chief@fetchyournews.com. Follow us on Twitter @FetchYourNews, @FYNTV. Don't forget our sports department, which you just talked to, had heard Jason Banks, the director of TeamFYNSports. Find our Facebook page, TeamFYNSports. Like it today and share it. That's where we post videos, pictures, articles for all of North Georgia sports on there. And follow Jason also @TeamFYNSports. If you'd like to be a part of TeamFYNSports, let us know today. If you live in one of the 10 counties or in the area of the 10 counties we serve on FetchYourNews.com, let us know today. See how you can get involved with TeamFYNSports. Now, my question is, here's the question I have for you, okay? Tax reform. Now, put the picture up. Tax reform senators, okay? I got a picture. It's called tax reform senators, okay? Now, Republicans have 52 votes, right? So this morning, I don't know if there's anybody new, but yesterday on Fox News Sunday, they were talking about tax reform, and they've got to make Johnson a deal. Corker's wants a deal to do tax reform. Collins. Rand Paul, I think, is the only one that's legitimate there. McCain wants to be a big name. He wants to get invited to all the shows or give his reason why he's going to vote no. And there's 2 Arizona senators, Jeff Flake and McCain. 6, okay? 6. Now, early on in this show, several months ago, we did a segment on the 8 vulnerable Democrats, okay? Claire McCaskill, 1. Joe Manchin up in West Virginia, the 2nd. We did several. The Democrat from Indiana. Which ones were vulnerable? Okay. Now there's 6 in this picture, and the reason I'm bringing up the 6, all right. If in 2018 we keep the House, the Republican House, I want to say this for a reason. If 2018 we could keep the Republican House under new Republican leadership, okay, let's whether you like it or not, I would like new Republican leadership. I don't want the old guard. If we could keep the Republican House in 2018, okay, and we could send representatives, even if we have to primary Republicans, if we can get rid of Republican representatives that are from the old guard and send back, so our numbers are still strong in the House, but a different kind of Republican, okay, and a different leadership package. If we can do that, then in the Senate, okay, let's leave the 6 up there for a reason. I'm gonna make a point. In the Senate, if we could send about 8 more Republicans, that's right, okay, I know you're not Republican right now, but if we could send about 8 more Republicans that are a different kind of Republican, that's what we're going to call them, different kind of Republican up to Washington, D.C., all right? And we were not sitting on every single deal we made waiting for 3 or 4 or 6. Okay? If we were not waiting to negotiate deals and give this away and that away and, a Cornhusker kickback here and there, it would make what they are trying to give us a lot more palatable. Oh, yes. Now, these are the 6 right now that are going to go after the news cameras this week. Little Bobby Corker, McCain, thumbs down McCain, Flake, that can't even get 18%, can't run for re-election, the party's toast, Grandma Collins, Johnson's an okay guy up there in Wisconsin, and Rand Paul. Do you think we will get 50 votes on tax reform? Now, the last thing I want to say about tax reform is I have a question. If they're on TV every day and they're trying to tell you what a great tax reform deal this is and what a great tax deal this is and what it means to the American people, Do you ever stop to think of who's giving us this tax reform? Do you ever stop to think this is coming out of a Paul Ryan, Mitch McConnell? Do you ever stop to think about that? And if 40%, now here's what I want to know from you. If 40% don't pay taxes, will get more. When you hear a politician say 40% of Americans don't pay tax, these people will actually get more money. Where do they get it from? So if you're in the income bracket that you're in the 40% that don't pay any tax at all, and this tax plan tells you you're going to get more, and you don't even pay tax, are they going to redistribute more wealth to these people? The 40% that don't even pay anything are going to get more? All I'm asking you, okay, is keep in mind who's giving us the tax plan. Who's giving it to us? Keep in mind who's telling us it's good. Keep in mind telling us, I would tell you this is not going to go over well. But I would almost like for there to be no legislation. I'm serious. I would almost like for there to be no legislation until we can get the people that are going to hand us a tax plan, until we get the people that are going to hand. Do you realize if this tax plan passes between now and Christmas? Oh, by the way, is it December 8th? Government shuts down again. So they put a tax plan in the midst of time to negotiate the government shutdown. DACA's on the list. Negotiate that. What kind of tax plan are we getting, America? Maybe it'd be best if we waited 2 years and we had some different kind of Republicans in 2018. Maybe in 2018 they would hand us a tax plan. Maybe they'll fix this one by then. But I just don't trust the people giving it to us. I don't trust the people that tell us they're going to repeal Obamacare. I don't trust the people that tell us that they're going to give us this awesome tax plan. Okay? I have a hard time trusting when Paul Ryan holds up a postcard, it says, this will work. Maybe you don't agree with me, but just recently, I support the President of the United States. I support Donald Trump, but just recently I'm thinking this tax plan is going to come down to 2 or 3 senators. We're going to keep negotiating. What kind of deals are we going to make? Or are we going to take out the Obamacare mandate that actually the court says, you know, that's why it was they turned it into a tax? Do we forget everything, America? Do we forget John Roberts on the Supreme Court turning the mandate into a tax and then telling us the federal government has the right to tax? That's how they justified Obamacare being legal and fining you. Now they don't want to take it away. They've never seen a good tax they like to repeal. Because remember, John Roberts of the Supreme Court, Chief Justice, determined that the Obama mandate, that was what we were hinging. It was illegal. It was going to be illegal to tell you had to do something. It was going to be illegal to tell the American people they had to buy something. It was going to be illegal. We were hoping the Supreme Court would come through and say, hey, an Antonin Scalia, Supreme Court, hey, it's illegal to force the American people, to penalize them. But John Roberts said, I can fix that. We'll turn that mandate into a tax. Then Obamacare is legal. Don't forget that, folks. Obamacare became legal through our Supreme Court. Don't forget it. And now they don't want to repeal it. They don't want to. They tell you they do. They don't want to. I'm just saying, these are the same people that we're going to negotiate in December a tax plan that's going to give it to us and tell us we like it, it's good for us, and it's good for America. Hey, I'm all about repatriating money. I'm all about the corporate tax being 20%. I'm all about that. I mean, I'm a trickle-down guy. You need to know that right now. I'm trickle-down. I believe if there's a company building 20 yachts right now, oh, the rich people. Hey, I believe if there's a company building 20 yachts right now, somewhere, that they have 300 people working on the yachts. Those people that are working buy houses. I'm a trickle-down, okay? All right, fine. But something about the people giving me this tax deal right now in December. At the same time, what do we have? Don't we have December 8th? When do we shut down? December 8th? Is that what we got to do right here for Christmas? I had it down here a minute ago, but somewhere around December 8th, or we have a government shutdown, so we're back in the crisis. We're always in the crisis. What are we going to do? Another continuing spending resolution? Just trust me. Be concerned about the people giving us the tax plan more than the tax plan. Okay? Just be concerned. I'm your host, BKP. I'm going to take a brief break. When we come back, Michael Flynn. I promise we're going to talk about Michael Flynn. And we're going to go into the Twitter and why Trump is backing Roy Moore. It's driving them crazy. And don't forget who predicted Roy Moore would win right here on this show. I'm your host, BKP. Sam, take us a break.
Ace is your healthful place for paint and home goods, tools, outdoor living, and lawn equipment. But did you know Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge is a little bit more? We have hunting rifles and accessories for your next hunting trip. We have Amish furniture imported directly from Ohio. And we have Ace Custom Woodworks for all your custom wood project needs, from cabinets to artwork. Ace Hardware of Blue Ridge. We have your new house in stock.
What you gonna do with all that junk?
The Tupelo Tea mission is to provide over 80 premium tea blends for tea lovers who are looking for ways to explore new flavors and blends. Come visit Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Be sure to sample our various varieties of honey and tea. Visit us on the web at tupelotea.com or call us at 706-946-TEAS. That's TEAS. Tupelo Tea, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge.
Better days ahead.
You know what time it is? Model year-end closeout time at Days Chevy in Jasper, with huge savings on every 2017 Chevy in stock, like over $6,500 off on Malibu, just $17,900, or save a payload on Silverado Double and Crew Cabs, starting from just $31,800. The discounts are big, and the time is now during the model year-end closeout. Hurry to Days Chevrolet in Jasper.
Better days ahead. Days Chevrolet.
Find new roads.
Be sure to check out New Blue Home and Gift, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Find us on Twitter at New Blue Home. Everything beautiful for your home or a special gift can be found at New Blue Home and Gift. Call us today at 706-455-3873 or visit us at 531 East Main Street, Suite 103 in downtown Blue Ridge.
Hi, I'm Rhonda the Mattress Lady, and this is my husband Gary, owners of Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart. And we want to earn your business. From the time you walk in our door to the time we deliver your new mattress to your door, you will see the difference. Our selection and prices are the best in North Georgia, and customer service is our top priority. So y'all come on in and let us help you find the right mattress at the right price. That's Mattress Overstocked in Ella next to Walmart.
Kinty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing. Fine sterling silver, luxurious baby alpaca and exotic woods. A beautiful selection of exquisitely crafted gifts for all of your special occasions. Visit our website, artesiansilvergifts.com, or follow us on Twitter at Artesian Silver Gifts. Kinty Artesian Silver and Gifts, the Peruvian shop in downtown Blue Ridge.
Okay, folks, before we get into, give me just a second here. I was looking for something. I have it here. It won't take me but just a second. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. You can follow us on Twitter at Fetch Your News, and also follow us on at FYNTV. Okay, now I had the tax story up here a minute ago, and what did I do with it? Oh man, what did I do with it? So I'll go back to the tax story in just a minute. Let's go with Michael Flynn, and put the picture up of Michael and his son. Okay, this is Michael Flynn and his son. Okay, wait a minute. First, MSNBC starts the day. They make big. This is their big news of the day. Okay, here's Michael Flynn and his son. We'll come back to that picture in just a minute. Let's put up Michael Flynn splits. MSNBC splits with Flynn. Okay, and this is the opening of the show. Okay. MSNBC, Flynn splits from Trump's legal team Trump's team on legal agreement. Now, you make a legal agreement. Now, let me just say this, okay, because I can't stand the way the media frames things that it's absolutely not news. You make a legal agreement, defense teams do, to share information. That's not uncommon, okay? So Trump has a defense team. Manafort has a defense team. Papadopoulos has a defense team. Michael Flynn and his son have a defense team. They have agreements, okay? They have agreements to share information. It's that simple. It's not uncommon. The news, what gets me with the news is them coming to you as though these things are bombshells, earth-shattering, things that have never been done, things that have never happened. First time. This Russia investigation is moving along so fast. Look at what took place over the weekend. Not true. Every day in America, somewhere there's defense teams that have agreements to share information. Now, why do they have agreements to share information? Because you have attorney-client privilege, okay? Period. You have attorney-client privilege. Whatever you walk in and tell your attorney, that's between you and your attorney, okay? Now, your attorney cannot call the other defense attorney and say, this is what we have. They have to be careful. It's attorney-client. So there's defense team agreements that you agree to. You as the defendant or whatever. And that's the bottom line. You have agreements because you cannot betray attorney-client privilege. You have to have these defense team agreements. Not uncommon. Not uncommon. If you go to watch this, let me just explain this, because the bombshell all damn day is going to be this attorney defense agreement that's been separated by Trump and Flynn's team. when you go to watch these court cases, and there's 6 attorneys at the table, and there's 2 or 3 different defendants. They have a defense agreement, a joint defense agreement between all of them that they share information. So what has happened here is the special counsel cannot go any further with Flynn and Michael Jr., Mickey and Mick Jr., okay? They can't go any further with the two, it's obvious, without separating the agreement. They no longer want that information. They want a direct agreement with these 2 individuals. Now, what it may be, if they have something big. Now, I think they have something on Turkey, okay? I think they have something on Turkey, and I will say this. Somebody said on one of the morning shows, and I'm gonna see if I can find that right now. Someone said on one of the morning shows, which I paid attention to, is the what is it called? The Foreign Agent Registration Act. Okay, the Foreign Agent Registration Act. And somebody said, I don't know if it was on Fox or who it was, said, you know what? One of the talking heads, anyone that has done business in foreign countries, they better lawyer up right now, because the Foreign Agent Registration Act is the big deal here. They got Manafort. This is going to get Flynn, maybe his son. Deals in Turkey, not Russia. So the Foreign Agent Registration Act is where these people are supposedly, allegedly breaking the law. Yeah, and that would be a Podesta, right? Tony Podesta, John Podesta, that would be Pizzagate. Tony Podesta, Foreign Agent Registration, whatever, Business Act. John Podesta, would that be Pizzagate? I don't know, something like that. So, Foreign Agent Registration Act or whatever, to do business with foreign countries. So, obviously Mueller has something here that he's going to work out or do a deal with these 2. It doesn't mean these 2 have turned over awesome bombshell information. It does not mean that at all. It doesn't mean that, Mueller said, hey, you cut ties with them, we're going to make a deal, and we're going to take care of you if you turn all this evidence. That's the furthest thing from the truth. Could it be that Flynn has made a deal and he's going to tell all? Disagree. I disagree wholeheartedly. But the point is the news coming out is how Michael Flynn cuts ties with Trump's lawyers and may be ready to make a deal. Okay? Experts claim it's bad news for the president. Now, who are these experts? Okay? New York Times report on Thursday evening revealed that attorneys for Michael Flynn, President Trump's former national security advisor, has cut ties with the president's lawyer, notifying them that they could no longer discuss special counsel Robert Mueller's investigation into possible Russian collusion. The report stated that it was the first clear indication that Flynn might be negotiating a deal with Mueller. Experts claim it could spell trouble for the president. Mr. Flynn's lawyers have been sharing information with Mr. Trump's lawyers about the investigation by the special counsel, the Times wrote. That agreement has been terminated. 4 people involved in the case said. Okay? All right, folks. The agreement has been terminated because there is something going on in a deal. Now, I'm going to end this because you're not going to like where I'm at on this. But I'm going to tell you right now, Michael Jr., pay attention to everything that happened, okay? Now, he had to take this tweet down because his dad had just got resigned and trouble's coming. But remember this comes from February 14th, 2017. And put up Michael and his son there for a minute because I want to make a point. Flynn's son, this is the New York Post, this is February 14, 2017. Flynn's son, who pushed, remember, phony Pizzagate. Now think about it now. Pizzagate, the pedophile ring, okay? Watch what's coming out. Watch what's coming out, folks. The pedophile ring of Pizzagate, okay? Flynn's son, who pushed phony Pizzagate. Remember, phony Pizzagate blames dad's downfall on disinformation campaign. Michael Flynn's son is blaming a disinformation campaign for bringing down his father, okay, who up until Monday night served as President Trump's national security advisor. The disinformation campaign against my father won. This is Michael Flynn Jr.'s tweet. The disinformation campaign against my father won. Hashtag America First. Hashtag USA. Hashtag Flynn. Hashtag Flynn's resignation. Michael Flynn Jr. claimed on Twitter. The tweet has then been deleted. And remember, Flynn Jr., Michael Jr., who served as his dad's chief of staff in a private sector, was a presidential transition official until being canned in December. The younger Flynn was accused of spreading fake news on Twitter. Specifically, Flynn Jr. promoted the false, see they write, the false Pizzagate conspiracy until hashtag Pizzagate proven to be false. It remains a story the left seems to forget Podesta's emails and the many coincidences tied to it, he tweeted at the beginning of December. So Michael Flynn Jr., okay, he promoted Pizzagate conspiracy and said until it's proven false, it remains a story. And the left seems to forget John Podesta's emails and the many coincidences tied to it. So let me tell you what I think here. First of all, let me go off of what everybody else is going to do today. Do I think Michael Flynn, a 3-star general, the man's a 3-star general, is going to turn against the commander-in-chief, Donald Trump? No, I don't. But let me look in the camera and tell you what I do think. I do think that Michael Flynn Jr., because he said Pizzagate, it's not that simple, I'm just telling you. I do think Michael Flynn Jr., okay, is in big trouble with some people. And that's his dad. And at the end of the day, folks, if Robert Mueller has come up with a deal to take care of the kid, don't forget that's Michael Flynn's son. Okay? Don't forget. Because a dad will do things for their son. So just remember, when you hear all the nonsense of the left media and what they have and the evidence they have, I don't think it's there. But do I think there's a possibility that nobody will talk about today? Nobody. That, is there a possibility that nobody will talk about today? Okay? That Michael Flynn may be doing something to help his son? I don't know. Now, I'm going to bring you around on the Pizzagate in just a minute, okay? Just a minute after I return. I don't want to quit talking about that because something I brought up Friday, and I think I'm the only one that connected some dots Friday to this next story. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office. Stay with me right after this. You don't want to miss this one.
Hello, my name is Chad Watkins. I'm the manager at Larry's Body Shop. We are a family-owned and operated business and have been serving the North Georgia area since 1978. We are located at 1216 Progress Road in LJ, Georgia. Our shop specializes in collision repair, and we work with all major insurance companies. Larry's Body Shop is ICAR Gold, the highest role of training recognized by the collision repair industry. It is estimated that only 10% of collision shops meet these standards. Our shop consists of state-of-the-art equipment such as laser measurement system, down-drive spray booth, spot and MIG welding equipment. All of our paints are mixed on site so that we can guarantee your paint to match every time. I know that having an accident can be a stressful event. We take pride in making sure our customers are satisfied with the repair of their vehicles. Our waiting area is clean and comfortable with free Wi-Fi and refreshing beverages. So if you're in an accident, stop by and see us at Larry's Body Shop.
Papa's Pizza to Go in downtown Blue Ridge is the best in the area all-you-can-eat buffet. Call ahead or order online now at papaspizzatogo.com. Use our convenient pickup window for the best in pizza, subs, wings, breadsticks, salads, and more. And be sure to check out our lively game room. We serve lunch and dinner, catering available, take out or dine in. Papa's Pizza to Go in Blue Ridge, proud sponsors of the Fannin County Rebels.
North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds. Come on in to view the area's largest selection of fine jewelry at North Georgia Diamond. All repairs and designs are done on site by our jewelers. And North Georgia Diamond has the lowest prices on loose diamonds. You can also sell your gold, silver, and coins at North Georgia Diamond between Walmart and Lowe's in East LJ. Locally owned by Bill and Allison Craig, North Georgia Diamond is your source for diamonds in North Georgia.
Broken Bowl, located in beautiful downtown Blue Ridge at Sycamore Crossing, is locally owned and operated. Our Simply Noel selection is the largest around. We have a great selection of unique clothing and several lines to choose from for men and women. We carry a beautiful variety of handmade jewelry from Blessed Be and others. All kinds of gifts, starting to carry shoes this fall as well. Come visit us on your next trip to Blue Ridge. We can't wait to meet you at Broken Bowl, located in downtown Blue Ridge.
Circuit World, brand name merchandise at unbelievably low prices. Furniture, appliances, and electronics. Circuit World is locally owned and operated, serving the tri-state area. Circuit World has highly trained professionals to help. Visit your hometown Circuit World today. 3 locations in Georgia: LJ, Blue Ridge, and Blairsville, Franklin, and Murphy, North Carolina. No credit checks, so let Circuit World deliver to you today.
In 1981, Reed Nicholson began selling tires out of an old barn in Mineral Bluff. Little did he know that he had just laid the groundwork for the most trusted names in automotive services in the Blue Ridge area. In 1997, Nicholson Tire Center became what it is today, holding the same values of faith, family, and great customer service. 2 locations to serve you, and the Blue Ridge location is currently expanding to offer fast service and the largest U-Haul provider in Georgia. Nicholson Tire Center, Blue Ridge, and Mineral Bluff.
And folks, I'm back. I'm your host, BKP. Good morning from the office, North Georgia's only live online morning show. Now, I think last Wednesday we talked about this. And you remember I did the whole picture lineup. Remember I did picture lineup, Al Franken, and I went all the way back to Bill Clinton, and we did the picture lineup of everybody, right? Remember that? We did all the pictures of all throughout the years. And I ended it, now I just said that I was going to, Michael Flynn Jr., okay? Now, Nancy Pelosi said, hey, there's differences, okay? Minka's building up there's differences. Who forgot what was revealed in Podesta's emails? Okay? Now I'm going to say this. There's a whole group up there in Congress that do not want that list exposed. Now there's a good side and a bad side. The taxpayer list, okay, the taxpayer list of settlements for sexual harassment. Now folks, don't take this wrong, but there's a side that says, hey, you got to have something. Because one time we had a case, not sexual harassment, trust me, we had a case years ago in business, it's probably 15 years ago, where the individual didn't even work for our company but made a claim that they were injured on a project that we were on at the same time. Wasn't even our project. And our insurance company sent them money and said to me, oh, look, they want $2,500, all right? And I'm like, they don't work for us? It wasn't our project. We just happened to be there on that day, and they claim we don't even know this person. And right is right and wrong is wrong. So the insurance company said, look, it's not worth the argument. It's not worth going to court. It's not worth the fights. It's not worth it. We're just going to pay, I think it was $2,000 or so. Okay. Caught me so off guard. Why would we do that? So there's one side on the list. There could be accusations. You know, we're gonna go with Nancy Pelosi on this one. We're gonna take Nancy on this one. There's due process, and there could be accusations, and there could be times when somebody says, you know what, somebody came up to me, a congressman the other day, and read a report and actually put their hand on my shoulder and read the report, and I'm offended. I feel uncomfortable in this workspace. All right, here's your $2,500. Go home. I don't know. All right, you got to be a little careful. Then Nancy doesn't know if they want to release the list. Why don't you want to release the list? Well, we have to be considerate of the victims. The victims, the accusers. We have to be considerate. They may not want their names released. Okay. All right. But anyhow, what it comes around to is, there is molestation. I think 14 and older, now don't get me wrong, I think 14 and older is molestation. I think under the 14 is pedophile, all right? I don't know. Pedophilia, whatever, okay? But you're going to find some things out as this thing keeps uncovering, because they will. There's a side of the media that's not MSNBC, and there's a side that's not ABC. And there's there's people that have to go and start revealing things that come up on Gateway Pundit. Now this is from, I'm not going to go into too deep. Boy, I don't have the time. Remember what I went into the other day on Wednesday? I brought it all the way up to Bill Clinton, 20-some or 25 or whatever trips on the Lolita Express with the pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, his friend, and Bill Clinton was running down the Lolita Express to the private island with young girls. I told you it brought up to that. Former Secret Service agent threatens to reveal detail about Bill Clinton and Epstein's Lolita Express. This came out November 25th, right after I brought it up to that point. In a furious Twitter exchange with a Clinton aide on Friday, former Secret Service agent Dan Bongio threatened to reveal new details about Clinton's 26 documented trips aboard notorious pedophile Jeffrey Epstein's private plane nicknamed the Lolita Express. Okay? Bongino and former Hillary Clinton aide Nick Morrell started feuding after Morrell challenged Bongino's claim that Clinton was the most manipulative political person in a position of power he had ever met in his entire life. Okay? I worked for the Clintons for 2 decades. All right? Don Bongano, he is on Fox all the time. This pic of New York Newsday inside cover taken at the U.S. Open in 21. It's one of literally hundreds of operations I conducted with Hillary, documented throughout my official U.S. government paperwork. There he is, former Secret Service. He is threatening to tell all about the Lolita Express. Folks, when we get done, okay, remember, Roy Moore, I don't know how you're going to take this. You will forget Roy Moore asked a 14-year-old out, allegedly asked a 14-year-old out on a date. When they get done, some of the media that's really digging on this, because this door is open now, you will think, so Roy Moore did what? Watch what you find out. Now, I want to go into the Twitter deck because I know we don't have a lot of time. And Sam, I got some pictures I want to make sure we put up. Let's go with Trump tweet 1, I think it is. And McFly. My God. It was just Rose a minute ago. Now it's you and Rose. Yeah, Rose brings in yeah. You got distracted by the big screen. Trump tweet 1. So I'm waiting for that picture to come up. Mine hasn't come up. Yeah, would you read that for me?
Since the first day I took office, all you hear is phony Democrat excuse for losing the election. Russia, Russia, Russia. Despite this, I have the economy booming and have possibly done more than any 10-month president. Make America great again.
All right, let's go with Trump tweet CNN. Now this one had MSNBC. They are a nervous wreck. They opened the show with his attack on the media again, and they hope nobody gets hurt. Okay, seriously, and the president's attack on the media. Read the Trump tweet I call CNN.
Okay. At Fox News is much more important in the United States than CNN, but outside of the U.S., CNN International is still a major source of fake news, and they represent our nation to the world very poorly. The outside world does not see the truth from them.
All right, my pictures are not coming up, so I might have you read some others there. Okay, so they opened the show this morning on MSNBC, all upset, okay, with Trump's attack on the free press. And Minka wanted to know if somebody could get control of him before somebody gets hurt, okay? Now, Megapill is a website that listed all of Trump's accomplishments, okay? President Trump's accomplishments. The media is going nuts because they're calling it a right-wing, white socialist, white supremacist website. It's called Megapill, and it's got Trump's economy accomplishments. In November, mining up 28%. Trump protects U.S. intellectual properties in China. Broadcom will move back to the U.S. and bring tax money with it. U.S. private sector added 235,000 jobs in October, beats expectations. They have an entire list by month of everything Trump has done, okay? Everything they've done. And it really, Trump retweeted Megapill, okay? You go to Megapill, he retweeted it, and said these are the people he didn't even realize he had accomplished this much. NBC, ABC, CBS, they can't take that you're getting information somewhere else. So they went crazy because he said, hey, CNN, these fake news, it's an attack on the free press. Mega pill. Now, they've gone crazy over Trump's tweets on endorsing Roy Moore. Okay? So go to Trump endorse 1. And I have it up this time. I endorsed Luther Strange in the Alabama primary. He shot way up in the polls, but it wasn't enough. Can't let Schumer and Pelosi win this race. Liberal Jones would be bad. Okay? Their heads are spinning off with this being an endorsement. Okay? Go to number 2. The last thing we need in Alabama, this endorsed number 2, the last thing we need in Alabama and the U.S. Senate is a Schumer Pelosi puppet who is weak on crime, weak on the border, bad for our military and our great vets, bad for our Second Amendment, and wants to raise taxes to the sky. Jones would be a disaster. These tweets, they are calling them endorsements of Roy Moore. And heck, now that we found out that Nancy Pelosi feels there should be due process, we're going to go with that. Let's see what else I have here because I don't want to lose. I don't want to lose the. Put up Richard Cordray. Okay. Now, Richard Cordray was the director appointed in the Obama administration to head up a consumer protection agency. We'll go over that. That was created under Dodd-Frank. Okay. Now, the media is going crazy over this. And Richard Cordray, it was created through Dodd-Frank. And they're getting rid of Dodd-Frank, folks. Dodd-Frank is ending. So Richard Cordray, he gets out. And he appoints his deputy chair, commissioner there, Leandra English. Put her up. All right? So he resigns and appoints her, another Obama appointee. This is Obama. Cordray was Obama administration, to a consumer watchdog group, okay, that was created in Dodd-Frank. So he appoints her, he resigns and appoints her to head it up. Trump says, no. No. He appoints, put Mick Mulvaney up. Okay, he appoints Mick Mulvaney to head up this agency. Remember, it's a new agency created in Dodd-Frank. He appoints Mick Mulvaney. My hope is he appointed Mick Mulvaney to disarm, disassemble this. Now go to the picture I have. It says Consumer Board. Now this is how they spin it, and they wonder about fake news and how they are. I have one that says Consumer Board there. It's Mulvaney and the lady. Okay. Now this is Fox. Controversy over who is leading after director quits the Consumer Board. There's no controversy. The Department of Justice has already said you can do this. Okay. So let's look first. We got to 9:49 and my computer started freezing up a little bit here. So let's look first here. The Consumer Watchdog head, it's still loading there. Consumer Watchdog head names a successor, and Trump does too. No, Trump's in charge. Trump's in charge, not this guy here. Okay. The director of the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau resigned Friday and named his own successor, leading to an open conflict with President Donald Trump, who announced a different person as acting head of the agency later in the day. That means there are now effectively 2 acting directors. No, there is not, of the CFPB, when they should only be 1, okay? Typically, an acting director position would be filled according to the Federal Vacancy Reform Act, but Richard Cordray, along with his resignation, elevated Leandra English, who was the agency's chief of staff, in the deputy position. Under the Dodd-Frank Act, which we're trying to dismantle now, let's see, that was under the Dodd-Frank Act. You ever read these like this? Under Chris Dodd, that part, which was, in my words, in my opinion, a drunk, friend of Ted Kennedy, which they raped, allegedly, to me, they raped a waitress one night, and they got to stay in the Senate, so he gets to write these bills. And then there's Barney Frank, okay? And Barney Frank, while he was away at work, you never know what people are going to do, like your boyfriend. You never know your boyfriend's going to run a male prostitution ring, allegedly, out of your apartment while you're down in D.C. Who would have thought it, right? So you just got to read these like that, right? Under the Dodd-Frank Act that created the CFPB, English would become acting director. Cordray, an Obama appointee, specifically cited the law when he moved English, a longtime CFPB employee, an ally of his, into the position. Donald Trump said no. Mick Mulvaney, who is currently the director of the Office of Management and Budget, Mulvaney has widely been expected to be Trump's temporary pick for the Bureau until a permanent one can be found. So they're suing. This Loranda English is suing that it's supposed to be her job. No. Mick Mulvaney has the job. Donald Trump, Obama, how come when Obama appoints people to something, it's okay? Trump does, it's always a lawsuit, always a lawsuit. Look, this was created. You got to understand, this agency was created on, exploding government under Obama with Dodd-Frank. No. So maybe Mulvaney is there going to dismantle it. Okay. We got a couple more tweets that the president has laid out. Just one more before we go to this. We're almost done for the day. I can't believe the 2 hours is done. I had way too much information for this show because I'm nowhere near done. This should be a 3-hour show. I should probably tape something to play later. But anyhow, here is from the Hill. CFPB Deputy Director sues Trump to block Mulvaney as interim leadership. Okay, on the Deputy Director, Consumer of Financial Protection Bureau, on Sunday night sued President Trump in order to block Office of Management and the Budget Director, Mick Mulvaney, from taking over as acting director. They sued last night. Last night they sued so they could stop it this morning. It needs to go. They're serious about getting rid of Dodd-Frank, and it's going to end, and it needs to go. Look, I want to go to the I lost the Twitter deck. I got to go there. I don't have time. I don't have time right now, but I got to go to Twitter. The president has sent out some tweets. That was a great cartoon Sam found the other day, from 180 to 280 or whatever it is. Now that let me go there. Just stay with me before we close. President just sent out some tweets. I just noticed a minute ago. Okay. This was 50 minutes ago. We should have a contest as to which of the networks plus CNN are not and not including Fox is the most dishonest, corrupt, and distorted in its political coverage of your favorite president, me. They are all bad. Winner to receive fake news trophy. They're going to give out a fake news trophy, Donald is. The good news is that their ratings are so terrible nobody cares. That's MSNBC. And 31 minutes ago, he tweeted out, the tax cut bill is coming along very well. Great support with a few changes, some mathematical. The middle case and job producers can get even more in actual dollars, and saving the pass-through provisions becomes simpler and really works well. So, those are Trump's tweets. Oh, by the way, did you see where who was the one lady in the media that Sarah Huckabee Sanders put up that she made a pecan pie, and the lady said, "I don't think it's real. Show us on the table." I mean, these people they've gone nuts, absolutely nuts. I'm your host, BKP. We only got 3 minutes. We got big news this week. Let me go through my list that I want to make sure I didn't forget. December 8th, folks, we want to watch the government shutdown for December 8th. And DACA, what kind of deals that are going to be made with DACA. Government shutdown December 8th. This tax plan. Conyers says he will tell all if he's pushed. Let's see what else we have. We think it's absolutely great now. Chuck Todd said, "Is it not time? Anita Hill, we re-examine, be re-examined." Okay, I've told you that early on. I may have been the first to call that Anita Hill. This will pale in comparison if he gets elected. Chuck Todd said, "We allowed the erosion," told Nancy Pelosi. We allowed it. With Bill Clinton, and the list goes on and on and on. All right? Is Conyers in or out? He kept pushing Nancy Pelosi. Oldest serving member in Congress, due process. Now we find out the due process, and we find out that Minka Brzezinski came to the defense of the Al Frankens out there, the lowlifes, by saying, hey, you know what? It's case by case. We got to handle these case by case. Listen, if you see news out there, you let us know, 706-889-9700. Any news you see, you let us know. Contact us, chief@fetchernews.com. You can always email us, 706-889-9700. Our Twitter, @FetcherNews, @FYNTV. We got a big announcement we're going to be making about Wednesday of this week. Don't forget, our show returns Friday to Blue Ridge. We'll be up in Blue Ridge again Friday. Last Friday we were not due to the holiday, so we'll be back this week with Ask the Doc. I want to start the week out by telling you that if you ever want to ask Dr. William Whaley on our Ask the Doc segment, if you ever want to do that, you can. If you ever want to do that, you can ask the doc. Info, INFO @FetcherNews.com. Just put in the top, in the title there, the header, Ask the Doc, okay, in the subject line. All right, and we'll get those questions to Dr. Willie. He answers those every Friday. We have our All-Star panel on Friday. If you'd ever like to be a part of our All-Star panel, get in touch with me, chief@FetcherNews.com. And we have our Pet of the Week from the Humane Society. I'm your host, BKP. We'll be back tomorrow morning at 8 a.m. Take us out of here, Sam.